We now interrupt this program to test a WPC PowerDriver board, and I don't remember what game this is from, but the client or somebody had worked on it, and the through hole at C6 was destroyed. So I undid all the work that was done there and used 2 through hole rivets to repair those through holes. I have also replaced C5, which is the filter cap for the 5-volt DC, C4 in the center of your screen, and C2, which often leaks. And in this case, it did leak. And it took out all of the components that are underneath this capacitor. Now I bend them over so you can see that there's no corrosion underneath there, but it took out those 7 components, plus the LM339, plus these 2 resistors at the top here. They were corroded. And would the board have worked? Yeah, probably. But was it the right thing to do to fix it? Definitely. So I have taken care of that. Hopefully we've got GI dimming, because that's the zero cross circuit. It uses those components plus the LM339 to detect when the AC sine wave crosses 0. So I've listed all those parts. I've also, of course, as I do on nearly every driver board and CPU board, replaced the headers, the 0.156 headers. So we've completed coil test, and I'm running the WPC DMD ROM in one of my bench CPUs. Let's test the GI and see if I've got zero cross corrected. That doesn't quite look right. There's some kind of connection not being made there. So after having done this a million times, I know something's not right there. So let me get this. Here's brightness 1. Actually, let me back up. We'll do it on the yellow one. There's brightness 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, brightness 6, which is going to include, I guess, the 3rd quadrant of the triac. It starts to flake out. And then 7, it's fine. Let's see if it's consistent. Let me go 8, it's fine also. So let me go to brightness 5 for the green. And here's 6. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Something new. Brightness 6 for, it appears, let me get to this blue one here. Yeah, for all the GI, seem to be a little funky. Here's 6. It's kind of a neat effect, actually. Anyway, back to the bench to fix that problem. Let's do lamps and flashers at the same time. The original problem was that there was no 18-volt lamp matrix power. We can see from the LED here that we do have 18-volt power, or something close to it, enough to light up the LED while I'm up here in this area. This PowerDriver board, somebody at one point in time followed the guidance of an old repair guide and cut this heatsink in half, thinking I don't know what, but that is no longer recommended. So lamp matrix is fully operational, and all flash lamps are fully operational. So that is all the functions of the PowerDriver board. So let me get this thing back to the bench and find out where I have a discontinuity in what was this corroded circuitry. Well, it didn't take that long. The 3 components that the big yellow non-conductive pointer is pointing at on the bottom, those were supposed to be connected, and components 2 and 3 were not. The trace was eaten away, and I found it pretty quickly. It was obvious once I looked at the before picture of what it was supposed to look like. So we're back in GI test, and it looks like we have a nice smooth transition between all the numbers of the GI. So here's GI position. Let me go over to the yellow one. I'll go to GI position 6. Oops. which is right there. So the way that general illumination works is, of course, now for the yellow, none of the 4 quadrants of the BT 138E triac, 5 triacs here, none of the 4 quadrants is being turned on, or what should I say this, power isn't being supplied during any of the 4 quadrants. As you increase the brightness through 1, 2, 3 like this, this is just a guess, but I would say that quadrants 1, no, that's a bad guess because there's 8 settings. I was going to guess 2 per quadrant, but somehow additional quadrants are being allowed to conduct to reduce the amount of time between when the lamp is turned off, or increase the more on time. Essentially, this is pulse width modulation, or maybe that's not the right term either, but if it pulses, if it allows power to go to this lamp 1 out of every 8 times, clearly it'll be dimmer, then 2 out of 8, then 3 out of 8, etc., until it's at full brightness when all 4 quadrants of the triac are being, I'm saying used to conduct. That's not the right word, but when the general illumination is power is allowed to flow during all 4 quadrants of the AC sine wave. So we have GI working on this, and I explained that pretty poorly, but maybe something you will pick up on and it'll help you in the future. Thanks for sending this board, sir. Much appreciated. Boxing up tomorrow.